Good morning, everybody. Please can I welcome everyone to this meeting of the Cabinet Member for Place and Local Plan Decision Day, taking place from the Walton Suite at the Winchester Guildhall. Time is just after 9:30 a.m. My name is Councillor Jackie Porter. I'm Chairperson and Cabinet Member for Place and the Local Plan. I advise everybody that the meeting is being audio recorded and live streamed from the Council's website. In addition, a video recording of the meeting will be uploaded to the Council's YouTube channel after the meeting. If you watch the video recording of this meeting on YouTube and wish to read subtitles, you can do so by going to playback and performance in the YouTube settings and checking the boxes to show captions and include auto-generated captions. Please can I remind any officers joining virtually to turn off their cameras and mute their microphones until invited to speak. Please can I also remind any members to speak clearly and remember to use your microphone. In addition, speak directly into the microphone and don't turn away when speaking, as I think I'm doing possibly. This will ensure your comments are picked up for the audio and video recording, as well as improving the audibility in the room. Finally, please can I ask everyone to ensure that mobile phones and other electronic devices are on silent or switched off entirely. After that list of instructions, we'll move on. Thank you very much. So there are two decisions being taken today, and the first one is the review of Hackney carriage fares. Bryony Appletree is the contact officer, and we're taking a decision that, taking into consideration the representations received and making necessary amendments in response, the proposed tables of Hackney carriage fares, as set out in Appendix 1 of the report, be approved to take effect from 14th of November 2022. In actual fact, on page 15, there is a mistake. So on the maximum fares, on the second line, it's got 1 mile and then 3 miles. It should be 1 mile and 2 miles. This is exactly as was consulted on. It hasn't changed at all from the consultation. I'd just like to ask Bryony if she'd like to go through with us how the consultation was carried out, because this is the first change since 2011 to the taxi fares in Winchester.
Thank you, Councillor. So initially we were approached by the Hackney Carriage and Private Hire Forum, who requested the fare review. This is in light of the increasing cost of living since 2011. So the council initially undertook a survey of the taxi trade to establish their feelings around a fare review, and 95% of respondents agreed that the fares needed to be reviewed. The council then considered 5 potential fare charts at the Licensing and Regulation Committee meeting on the 6th of September 2022. And that discussion at the meeting primarily centred around ensuring affordability for customers and balancing that with the needs of the taxi trade. One proposed fare chart was then chosen by the committee and put forward for public consultation. This is probably the most in-depth public consultation we've undertaken for Hackney carriage fares, in light of the fact that a change hasn't been made for such a long time. So the public consultation took place from the 21st of September for 21 days. A notice was displayed at the City Office's reception, on the Council's website, at all city centre taxi ranks, and was published in the Hampshire Chronicle on the 29th of September and on the 6th of October. The Council also wrote to key stakeholders directly to advise them of the consultation, and that includes the taxi trade, schools, colleges, hospitals, care settings, GP surgeries, community groups, parish councils, and all members. One comment was received during the public consultation, which you'll see included in the report, and that was in favour of the proposals. And as you say, the proposed fares will come into effect on the 14th of November 2022 if that decision is made. Thank you.
Sorry, Councillor Porter, microphone.
So the support was from a parish council that's somewhere away from Winchester, so it would affect their residents quite strongly. So I'm really pleased that actually they realised that the change in our circumstances since 2011 means that this change would be relevant. It does actually maintain a maximum fare of £7.60 for a 2-mile journey, which was one of the key drivers for this particular change. So I'm happy to make the decision. I don't think we've got anybody. Oh, Caroline, you wanted to say something, didn't you? Please do. Please do.
Chair, thank you. And it was actually to speak in favour of the proposal. Having consulted with the Conservative members who were attending the licensing committee, I think they all felt that there was a very good discussion. So thank you for that, and indeed an extensive consultation. I think there was great support for that process, and obviously to be encouraged as we move on new activities. And as a consequence, their unanimous recommendation is that we should support this, and also given the time since the last review, not unreasonable to be looking at that in the current climate. So, Chair, we'd be very happy to endorse your recommendation this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Councillor Horrell. I think it's also relevant that we'll continue our safeguarding and our other services that we make sure that we have to taxi drivers and to the public, because it's important that we keep this service going and it's not lost forever because of the changing cost of living. So I'm happy to make this decision today, and the new charges, which are on page 15, with that amendment that the second line is 2 miles, not 3, from the 14th of November 2022. Thank you. Right. The second item on the agenda is the Memorandum of Understanding with Winchester College. Thank you, Brian, for your work on that. Thank you. That is for the Winchester College Memorandum of Understanding, and this has been taken or is being taken as a decision day today because it is a very memorable moment for the Council and for Winchester College. And our decision today is that the Memorandum of Understanding, as set out in the appendix, will be entered into on behalf of Winchester City Council. And it's a delight to welcome Dr. Hans and his colleagues here today. And Caroline, I believe you wish to speak on this one too. I would just like to say really what a pleasure it is to have a college that feels so much part of the city, an educational establishment that feels so much part of the city and wants not just to be part of the city in the past, but also well into the future, and to take such a strong role in opening up its doors to the public in so many ways. And actually, I said earlier that in an informal conversation that I'm also a school governor, and I know that they have welcomed local children into the school. And in fact, I might share this with you for a moment. They genuinely thought they'd been to Hogwarts, but they hadn't. And they wrote some stunning poems afterwards. And actually, you're now taking them on a prize visit to Brownsea Island. So I really do appreciate that as a governor from a school. But actually, to take children into a different environment and into an educational setting that they would not have seen before is stunning. And they realised then that the rest of the day followed a standard educational practice that we'd all like to see. So that was great. And also your work in conservation has been really appreciated, and your approach to taking in girls for the first time since September is a co-educational attempt, a co-educational aspiration that I'm really pleased to see. So this Winchester College Memorandum of Understanding has certainly the City Council support, and I know it has your support. I believe that I ask, first of all, Councillor Horrell to speak. Yes, Councillor Horrell to speak, and then Dr. Hans. Thank you very much.
Chair, thank you for allowing me to address the meeting this morning. And indeed, I'd like to show cross-party support for the Memorandum of Understanding, which I think can only be a positive for both parties, for the college, for Winchester College and the City Council. I'm particularly attracted by page 46G, where we talk about making more of the school's grounds available for visitors, and indeed the possible opening of the Jane Austen House in College Street, which I think will be much welcomed by those who find the Jane Austen history hugely attractive and is quite an attraction for us as a city. Like you, Chair, you got there before me. I'm a governor of a primary school and they adore the interaction with the Winchester College. It's the Sparshot Primary School and they came on the visit last week, but you come to our school frequently and there's much to be celebrated on that level of relationship. So anything that we can all do to enhance that, I think will be hugely important for all of us. So, Chair, I can only say thank you for getting this to this point. Thank you to Winchester College for supporting the Memorandum of Understanding, and I hope that we can all work successfully together to make this successful. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Councillor Horrell. Dr. Hands, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much, Councillor Porter. Councillor Horrell, I'm the headmaster of Hogwarts. I do apologise for not coming in my full uniform, but when we have a Heritage Open Day next, I will be available as an exhibit. I come from a long family of teachers, and my father's particular belief was that schools exist to serve their communities. So on a personal note, I am most grateful to the officers, council of this wonderful city for making this memorandum of understanding possible. Thank you. On a professional note, Winchester College, which is the original English school, there weren't school buildings before our ones, was built outside the city walls. This was not a significant statement by William of Wykeham. It was merely that the land was much cheaper there. And our location should not be seen as in any way symbolic. We are deeply aligned with the city and with its commendable aims and ambitions. And the approach of our new vision, which was launched 2 years ago, is about breaking down barriers, breaking down, in a way, those walls. So we are admitting day pupils. Again, we stopped in 2006. We are admitting girls, and the governing body has made a huge commitment to the expansion of our bursary scheme so that things will not be there that previously would have put people off applying to us. So what we hope we're doing is to provide far more opportunities for all the inhabitants of Winchester and its environs, and we can best do so with your assistance. So thank you very much indeed for all the work that's put this Memorandum of Understanding through. I hope it will bring rich benefits to our school, of which we are proud, and to the wonderful city which it serves. And a very great thank you to the officers who have slaved over detail, of which I am not the master. So I had better retire. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. The city walls, I think, don't define the city anymore, do they? They're just a historical record, and I think that's the whole point, isn't it? About inclusion right out from the city, not just within the walls. Well, it's a delight to be able to sign this, and thank you to Dawn, who I'm afraid is not able to be here this morning for a variety of reasons, but I can assure you that everybody's very pleased to see this actually written down. I think actually the relationship has been good always, but it's good to have something formally that celebrates that. So thank you very much for coming, and I'm very happy to make this decision that the Memorandum of Understanding will be entered into on behalf of Winchester City Council with Winchester College. Thank you. That concludes the matters this morning. Can we bring the meeting to a close, please? Thank you very much indeed.